Welcome to MPItv, sponsored by Marriott International. We're looking at how convention centers worldwide are addressing environmental and social concerns within their ambitious renovations and expansions. We're talking to one convention center about their plans following a quick message from our sponsor. The Memphis Cook Convention Center is re-emerging in fall of 2020 with a focus on new meeting space. Here to tell us about some of the renovations taking place is Jeff Homad, VP of Convention Sales and Services for the Memphis CVB. Jeff, thank you for joining us. Tell us about what those discussions were like when it came down to making those key decisions for renovations.
There's a lot of centers that have been going under renovation, and a couple key things came out to us is breakout rooms. So the great thing that we're doing, we're going from 28 breakout rooms up to 51 breakout rooms. And the center sits right on the Mississippi River. When they built this, there's no windows looking at the Mississippi. So we're gonna open up the whole west hall, and that whole west wing is gonna be looking directly at the Mississippi River. So we're gonna bring a lot of the natural light and a lot of the outdoor, bring it into the hall as well. And another thing that came from the conversations was informal sitting areas. And so we're making our foyers really wide. So we're gonna have that seating, that capability for people to go outside of the meeting rooms to have these more small, intimate meetings, and then they can regroup and go back into the breakout rooms. It's gonna allow us to go after still association business, but maybe association business that's used to paying a little bit higher ADR.
How did Memphis measure which renovations were most pressing?
Natural light, for sure, that's definitely one. You know, high ceilings, and that's something that we changed in our, we had a mezzanine level that we had ceilings that were only 9 feet high. That kind of informal seating areas outside of meeting spaces as well, that's something that they're looking for. Obviously, Wi-Fi. We kid amongst ourselves saying we need to get this building in the 21st century. When it comes to just the comfortable nature of a meeting room, when people walk in, it's got to be pleasing to the eye, you know, when you get into a meeting room as well too, when you know you're going to be sitting there for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. And so we've addressed that as well too.
How have you seen meeting planners' concerns change over time when it comes to meeting space?
When we started the process, we got a local focus group together. We have a very active meeting planning group in Memphis, and folks from AutoZone, Ducks Unlimited, St. Jude, Shelby Systems. So we got them together and used that focus group to kind of ask some questions about what was important to them and for their use of the center, but also because they have a lot of peers in the industry as well too. What were they seeing when it came to convention centers and meeting space and all that? Now, we couldn't add everything because, you know, you have a budget at the end of the day, but we were fortunate enough to get a lot of those top 10, 12, 15 things per meeting planner on that they had on their list into the center, which is exciting. It's good to see.
Jeff, thank you. You can read more on what other convention centers are doing, including Memphis, in the June issue of The Meeting Professional. Thanks for joining us on MPItv, sponsored by Marriott International.
Welcome to 60 Seconds Smarter. I'm Jeff, and in this episode, we're going to show you how to take a smaller space but still make a memorable impression. It sounds tough, but it's really not. Come on, let me show you. Well, you caught us discussing our goals over coffee. And what better way to embrace the coffee culture in Seattle than with foam art? And that art represents our goals. And it also creates good conversation. Speaking of, I gotta get back. in a PR strategy campaign meeting and we're building out bagels. So depending on how you build that bagel out will be dependent on how they would individually roll out that campaign. So the ingredients represent an aspect of the overall strategy. So for Melissa, capers represents live events. It's interesting. How are they going to roll out their event? You know, there's many different ways to transform a room from a simple meeting space to a fun experience. For example, take a look at these fun beanbag chairs. They automatically create a playful mindset, which is perfect for what we're doing here today, which is brainstorming. Mike, go. Well, we hope you've learned how you can take your big ideas and still make them work in smaller spaces. And don't forget, any of the Marriott Convention Resort Network hotels can make your ideas come to life. We'll see you guys next time.